to pick a ban for a game one, because at the end of the day, no one's really expecting them to lose or to beat top esports, but if they're able to put up a fight, honestly, with the development that we were just mentioning, all the young names that are going to be on this roster, that's a huge win for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing, is it's a test, right? You bring in these new players, you want to see how they go. And honestly, just looking to see how Strive can compete in the LPL. We do have bans kicking off here, a lot targeted towards Knight. Not too much of a surprise. We see that Renekton maintaining that 100% ban rate in the first rotation. I expect Caitlyn to come in, not necessarily from RA-Game, but probably for the third ban from top esports. And for RA-Game, it's just kind of deciding what else you want to take away here. Viego could be something to deny away from the end, but instead going for the Akshan. I expect the Caitlyn ban to come out here from top esports, but we'll see if they feel similarly.
Yeah, actually, I'm one of those very kind of oppressive laners. He's able to get himself out, and of course, with the invisibility, he's able to move out into different lanes, create those odd number skirmishes before you have any time to react. So, getting him off the board, don't want to deal with him until they feel a bit more comfortable. Now, top esports gonna round out their last ban with the Jarvan, taking that away from Leanne. So, kind of saying, look, we understand that you're going to be targeted, but I gotta say something that we talk about targeted. Top esports could technically just go back to the Viego. Tien literally went, God mode in the Demacia Championship final by picking Viego 3 times in a row when they were 2-0 down. So that's something they can look for if they decide to get that in the early rotation. But like you said, RA-Game, they're going to prioritize one of the big 80 carries. They're going for the Caitlyn.
Yeah, I feel like you have to pick it if it's left open in the situation. You do not want to give it over and just guarantee a rough time in the bot lane. We've seen Jhin often picked into it, another one of those 80 carries that's pretty solid in the current meta. Long range, can hold up in lane, and potential to pair it up with a more aggressive support in case, the Kate Lux combo that we've seen a lot of does come out. You have answers, and I think that's a big thing as well on red side. If they do end up picking Lux early, you could pick an aggressive support, and they can't really blind Morgana, who would potentially be an answer to that. Wouldn't surprise me too much to see the Viego come out here. I think it will be a jungle pick. Din Zhao is another option that's open and available. And it looks like being toyed with Lee Sin, probably the other strong early game alternative. We'll see what Tien eventually wants to settle on.
Yeah, well, one of the most hype calls of any World Finals was, of course, Tien on Lee Sin, where you got Kobe just screaming, "Oh!" And that's basically the entire play. But he is going to lock that in. It's going to be a very, very strong champion. It has become one of those very powerful early game junglers, and it's all about the setup. And like you said, it's all about those solo lanes. And now the Lux and the Corki, boom, boom. So you've got that late game and you've got that early game secured here for RA-Game.
Yeah, and we often see the Victor picked up into the Corki, so could potentially see that coming out. But a support might be important to take in this rotation before they get banned away and the pool thinned, if there's anything specifically that they want to lean on. But already RA-Game, a lot of scaling elements here, a lot of lane pressure from that bot lane. And I feel like they're going to have to lean towards there. The Corki does allow that. You have to package. You can sort of offer that assistance to your bot lane, pretty important. But we do see Karma coming out from the side of top esports, so something that can offer a lot of trading power into the poke offered by this Caitlyn Lux. Still can be a bit precarious. If you do get caught by a binding, a trap will follow. You'll be in a rough spot, but Karma Jhin, a very strong lane at applying pressure and looking to contest priority.
Yeah, and Karma's been seen as a little bit of a soft counter, if you will. We've seen it a few times now picked up against the Lux. Has worked pretty damn well, if I do say so myself, in the first game. I believe it was RNG versus FBX when they took it into it. So not exactly something that you want to be super confident in from the side of RA-Game. You're going to have to be a little bit more careful of how you work your bot lane summoners. You don't want to be getting caught out with that. As we get the next round of bans coming in, there's in Zhao going to be banned away. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe even see the Viego here for top esports, just ban away all those big early game junglers, and then you're running down the last few options here for the side of Leanne. But on the other side, I like this from the side of RA-Game. Well, cool, let's give Strive, let's give this new rookie mid laner as much comfort as we possibly can. It could be technically a Karma in the mid lane, but we obviously expect it to go to the bot side, and the Vex being banned away alongside probably another mid lane ban just to give him some comfort.
Yeah, I like the fact they're targeting a weak side top there with that own ban. I feel like Viego can come out, but they really just wanted to target the early pressure with it in Zhao. I think for RA-Game, Victor kind of stands out to me as the sort of mid laner left open and available I would look to ban in this situation. We've seen a few Corki Victor games so far, and we've seen the Victor actually find a lot of pressure in the matchup. He even found a solo kill earlier in the split. I believe Gory was the one who got taken down on that champion. But we do see the Zoe ban instead, something that obviously can pressure the lane quite heavily, and that just makes complete sense to pick up that Victor for Knight. So now RA-Game need to take that jungler. Obviously the So top priority, strong early game junglers pool has been thinned a fair bit. They need a pickup for Cube. He's toying with the idea of a Gwen or potentially Camille. It is going to be blind, and I think Gwen's fairly comfortable. I don't think there's anything that's too difficult for Gwen. So I think you could just lean into that one, and it looks like it is going to be locked in. And now the jungle pick.
This is the big one now for the side of RA-Game. How do you make this composition all come together? The Gwen is locked and loaded, so that is going to Cube. Could see Zoom pick up the Jackson response, and ooh, okay. Rek'Sai locked and loaded for Leanne, so going with that early pressure. And I have mixed feelings about this champion because when it gets ahead, it can look oppressive, but when it's put behind or even, later the game goes, the more and more quote-unquote useless it kind of becomes.
You know what? I don't even mind if it's useless, right? You are literally just going to use your scanning sense later in the game, and all you have to do is secure your lane as a good early game, right? Super powerful early ganks is the power of the Rek'Sai, tunneling over walls, but on top of that, until he's in, he really struggles to deal with you. With the fact that you can knock up to interrupt the Sonic Wave, it just makes it a very hard duel to win, and I really like the pick. You know, they thinned out those early jungler pools, but they had a backup pick to come in. And if you look at like the bot lane, if you look at the mid lane, these are immobile champions. If you end up coming behind them, you'll absolutely annihilate them. And the second you start to find some momentum, RA-Game should be pretty comfortable. We did see Zoom round things out with the cannon, a pretty powerful pick, especially if you can get behind RA-Game's backline off the sort of wing condition. But I think RA-Game have navigated this pretty well. They've got super strong S tier bot lane. They have strong solo laners who scale pretty well, and they have that early game agency in that Rek'Sai to set things up.
They have a game plan. They have some setup for themselves in that early game, and they do have a little bit of late game insurance with that Corki. It's about RA-Game making those moves on the early side, and for the side of top esports, it's about surviving. It's about getting to a point of which you know this Victor will take over. You know this Jhin will be able to blow people up from the backside using that curtain call and just keeping people safe with his karma. So both teams locked and loaded. I'm curious to see where they kind of go with it. I'm curious to see where this, both these teams focus, because like you said, the meta is definitely shifting away from that bot lane focus and moving more towards either the solo lanes in the early game and then obviously team fights in the late.
Yeah, I think really mid priority is going to be such an important thing in this situation. I think jungle as well, if we find opportunities to invade, if we find opportunities to challenge. But I think bot lane is just going to be such a fight here. Both teams have a lot of tools for contesting priority. Often with the Caitlyn lane, you want to be pushing in. With TPs being changed, there isn't that response. You can just TP behind them and then use that as an answer. So whoever finds the foothold bot is really going to favor themselves in this matchup. And I expect to see both junglers heading down there. But if you can bring your mid laner too, it's going to be even more favorable for you.
Now jumping onto the Rift, and ooh, okay, we got action straight away. Tien has to start with Safeguard. Not exactly the best jungle start for him, as we are going to see the Deadly Flourish lock down Zora, as he's going to have to flash away. Oh, does he get down? Yes, he does! It's going to be first blood going over to top esports, and out of nowhere, we're already seeing top esports taking the advantage.
And I like to see aggressive early invades, especially in this meta where if you lose a jungle camp, you're not going to get level 4 unless you're able to take double scuttles. So really strong performance coming out from top esports just to kick things off and answer that, even though it was RA-Game who initially tried to find Tian. So battle's already starting here.
And the big thing as well, let's look at the replay here. You can just see all the amount of summoners that were blown. It's actually Zora who starts this one off, sees everybody, flashes away immediately because they know they're going to get hit by the Deadly Flourish. And then they just kind of re-engage on it. I feel like Zora should just walk away. They know that they're there.
Yeah, I mean, it's playing a lot of dangerous games. You can see they felt like Tian was going to face check. They could find the opportunity to turn it around. Unfortunately, the thing is, Zora is the one who is actually the strongest level 1. If you bind 2 people, really easy to find a kill there. So the fact that he went E level 1 meant they didn't have the power. The fact he was chunked out already kind of put you in a disadvantageous position, and ended up going in favor of top esports. And now you see them fighting heavily for this priority. Ends up being pretty even so far, but it's just that constant throwing out of abilities to try and not only trade with the opponent but also push the wave. And I have to say, a little bit of an advantage towards top esports on the bot lane, and the fact that they have 3 summoners against just the 1, just the exhaust available for Zora.
Yeah, the big thing as well is that we talked about like, the early pressure you can get with a Lux Caitlyn, but without a flash, without having those summoners available, you have to play respectfully. You cannot get caught out by a Deadly Flourish, because it's so easy to proc with a Karma and a Jhin as well. It's so easy for them to be able to get those AoE Qs off and move forward knowing that they can get that guaranteed CC. So And you can see there the extra shielding you get from the W off of Dro is just going to be so big. And already Tien moving down towards this bot side, trying to make something work for him. He knows there's no flashes. The Deadly Flourish lands, and it's tit for tat, easy as that. That is how easy it is to kill a Lux in this bot side when they have no summoners.
And that's a dangerous thing, right? You burn those early summoners, so you are vulnerable. And Chan actually made a very quick path down to the bot side. You can see Lian is just going for that full clear, whereas Chan prioritized the ganking, skipped his Krugs initially, and was rewarded for it. And that is the cost of that level 1. The fact that the flash wasn't available. And as you said, so easy to set up. You hit a Q on Karma, they're slowed. Very easy for Jackalope to follow up with the Deadly Flourish. And once the root comes down, that's pretty much it.
Yep, and that's pretty much how this laning phase is going to go for the next while. We're going to see now what RA-Game can do to stem the bleeding, maybe make something work. But you can already see they're putting down defensive vision on the side of top Esports. They know that Zora is here. You can see in the mini-map as well, top there in the bush as well. They know if Lien tries to go in through that bush, they're going to spot him out. So a lot of different avenues being cut away from here by top Esports to try and just stop RA-Game from getting any kind of a foothold. And this is where the game starts to get a little bit risky, because we know top Esports, we know this team, and we know that when they can get ahead, they will just keep pushing forward, keep getting advantages, and they just become such an unstoppable force that it's almost impossible to do anything.
Yeah, especially in the bot lane, if you can keep applying pressure, that momentum will just go heavily in the favor. But I love this from Lian, right? He knows the quick path bot for Tian meant he hadn't done his probes, right? So now he's cleared that out. He has priority from Strive. He's able to take the Raptors here as well. And Tian's going to get there, and it's going to already be gone. So you've now missed out on 2 camps. You're still level 3. Lian's getting pretty close to level 5 at this point. So yes, you got a pretty big advantage in the bot lane, absolutely. But it really cost you this jungle matchup right now. Oh, and critically, just as Lian recalled, just before he went, he saw Tien on his tremor sense, so had a bit of information for Strive. You can see he very quickly backs off, and now this is the response, right? You took my Raptors, I'm going to take yours. You can see Zora's moving over to try and defend. Strive is doing his best, but they will be able to get this and get away, which is really important for Tien to sort of make back some of that difference in the experience.
Yeah, you can see as well that it was just unfortunate back timings. iBoy had reset on Caitlyn, wasn't able to walk up there as well. You've got pressure in mid and in bot side as well. So Lian just going to try and clear out as much of this vision as he possibly can. Has picked up the Serrated Dirk, and this is the build we see from the Rek'Sai now. You know, you used to quite a while ago see the tank build, and now it is just all damage. You need to try and burst someone down with that Void Rush, try and get on top of someone and break them away from the team fight at minimum, and at least burn summoners. So right now it is going to be the pressure in towards this bot side, and this Karma into this Lux is just so good at just keeping them down, stopping that very oppressive poke from really doing anything.
And a big thing with Lux is one of the reasons she's so frustrating to play against in the bot lane is her damage is almost undodgeable when she throws down her E. Very hard to avoid that the skill shot is so big, and it slows you initially. So, you know, it's really easy just consistently poke. But the thing is, Karma is similar, right? Mantra Q, everyone who's played against that knows the skill shot's like the size of the lane. Yes, you might dodge a couple, but the war of attrition will eventually favor her. And so it means that Zhou in this situation is able to just answer back and keep trading back and forth. And now that you have the advantage, they are holding on to that. Just sort of going back to the Rek'Sai point you said before about the damage, I think Prowler's Claw, and I'm going to hold that claw. They look for Knight.
Yeah, they're going to go into him. The Gravity Field has been popped down, as well as the Chaos Storm. You can see the Strife's trying to go for it, but Knight's just 2v1ing this very nicely and just keeping himself at a really nice health. Yes, he just came back to lane, but that's fine. You're happy with that trade, and it means now that Lian doesn't get any real advantage that he was looking for.
Yeah, Strive doesn't really have the damage to follow up there. And honestly, before 6, Lian isn't able to 100-0 the Victor, so will force the ultimate, but not really too much of an advantage, and will be forced to back away. Going back to the Rek'Sai point, I think such a big change for Rek'Sai is when we got the new mythics is how Prowler's Claw changes how you can play this champion, because there's a lot of situations where you're tunneling towards someone, you might be like a tiny bit out of range where you can't knock them up. With the Prowler's Claw, it just increases the range at which you can easily connect your knock up, and once you do, you obviously can get your combo off, often up to 100-0 someone if you have that ult. So a really powerful tool, and see, man, isn't spotted yet. This should just be an easy kill.
They should be able to get minimum summoners as well. They are going to see Jackie Love getting sped up. He gets knocked up as well. They both flash at the same time, but the binding has hit, and that's exactly what you want to be seeing there from the RA-Game bot side. They will pick up 1 kill, maybe even 2. Do they have the damage? They do, and they get the double. Caitlyn with 2 kills there. Great response here from RA-Game.
Yeah, it took a while. We were talking about those gang paths from the wreck side, but Leanne finds one in. Great flash coming out from Zora to capitalize. And Jackie Love, a bit over-aggressive. He saw the window to turn the kill around. He was fishing for an opportunity to ult. Ended up overstaying. And Ivor and Zora unrelenting to find this one. We'll see the play. And again, it's one of those situations where the vision has been swept. The fact that you can traverse over the wall makes it so easy. And then that binding, unfortunately, there. Joe just flashing a little bit too much of a straight line, and there you saw how low Leanne was. Jackie Love on the Jin didn't have any ammo left, so wasn't able to finish it off, and just some really excellent play coming out. But Top Esports not gonna let themselves be knocked down. We'll quickly head over to the Herald on either side and just able to secure that one.
Get the Herald. They get themselves an objective. Gold is pretty much even, about 300 gold in the favor of Top Esports. You have got a package now for Strife as he looks to maybe go for Jackie Love, but Jackie Love recognizing that everyone was top side, he's got to go back bot. So everyone's just backs themselves away. And now Dragon hasn't been taken just yet. We are coming up to 9 minutes, so it's going to be a little bit of a late soul here. Neither team really fully engaging onto that one. I want to see now where Top Esports prioritize themselves coming out onto this map. They have got the Rift Herald. They may look to try and just get a kill and then move back onto the, getting those plates.
Yeah, I think the package coming out from Strive meant he's able to zone Jackie Love pretty far back. They send their bot lane mid, and obviously Knight can't compete against two champions, so it's a nice sort of lane distribution that allows them to easily pick up that Dragon. It's actually quite tricky to take Dragon against the fact that, Jackie Love and Joe can often contest priority, and if you get stuck in the Dragon pit against a curtain call, really dangerous. So I like that lane assignment that just allows them to pick up that Dragon. As you said, pretty late, but better to get one on the board now than not at all.
Yeah, that's the big thing. You get one now, you kind of delay the soul just a little bit. You can see now iBoy gonna see if he can do something here. They land the light binding, but they're not gonna get any much more damage. iBoy now in a little bit of trouble. You can see Jackie Love is fearless inside of that ultimate. Just says, I'm not canceling, I'm still putting down the damage. They will end up trading back a little bit in favor of RA-Game as both junglers were here. So both junglers, I must say, for Leanne, he's keeping up with Tian right now and saying, look, I can be where you are. I can react to what you're doing. And both of these junglers trying to have a bigger impact on these fights.
Yeah, and I think he's so focused on the spot lane as we expected. But it's just the fact that this is why this Rek'Sai pick is working, right? You go bot, and you see Tian there. Tian lands Sonic Wave and it's like, well, I can't do anything. You can't go in. If you do, you get knocked up instantly. You won't be able to follow up. You'll just get locked down. So a strong pick in this situation, and it's working well for what they picked it for so far. There's been a lot of back and forth. Ultimately, Knight pretty comfortable though on this Victor. Did get that earlier kill and doing pretty well in farms. So I'm still a little bit concerned about sort of how the late game fights are going to pan out, because particularly Victor has just shown to be such a force to be reckoned with.
I think that's the big thing as well. If Top Esports can get to an objective first, if they can set themselves up where Victor's in a great, position to put down that gravity field, get themselves the zone control, it does become much more heavily in favor of Top Esports the longer the kind of, the setup goes. But for RA-Game, if they can catch someone on transit, if they can catch someone before they get to the position they're supposed to be in, everybody on the side of Top Esports will be blown up by Rek'Sai +1. Anyone in this team should be able to blow them up pretty damn quickly. So curious to see how they're able to set up around objectives, and even if they do or don't, as we can see Leanne just going to be able to get himself the scuttle on top side as Tien backs himself away, and they're just kind of focusing now a little bit more onto that mid lane. They will get the kick. No, nice flash there from Strife. Keeps himself safe, but the push now in favor of Top Esports in mid.
Yeah, Tien making the right call there. If you flash there, you probably are just going to trade your life. So I think the right call is just take the flash from your opponent, get some plates, and then the Herald is available as well. Not gonna oh, they are actually gonna throw it down now. I was thinking they might wait a little bit longer. Just be 2 plates coming in for Knight, and gonna be a fair chunk of gold coming in. Leanne stepping up a little bit too much, and the thing, this Lee Sin still poses a lot of threat. With that kick available, we'll get 4 plates here off this play, so a massive influx of gold. And ultimately, the wave play will come out from Strive, but can't really do much else other than just watch all that gold be transferred over. And now that mid lane tower is a point of vulnerability, right? If you move away from mid, as we see Strive pick up the package and walk away, gives that opportunity for the enemy team potentially take it down.
Yeah, well, they are trading it for a little bit of pressure on bot side. RA-Adam's bot lane recognizing they are still the Lux Caitlyn, so they can do a lot of damage should they be given the time. And they get themselves about a plate and a half. They should be able to convert it into another plate eventually. They gotta hurry up though. They've got a little bit over a minute to get that last plate. This TP used by Zoom into the top side just to defend his turret. Nothing really to say about top lane. They've kind of just shook. Yeah, they kind of just shook hands and just said, all right, you know, we're kind of happy to both just sit here and you know, do whatever we need to do. But they have a word there. iBoys needs to be a bit careful. Great fancy feet there from the RA-Adam AD carry. And now Lian is down this bot side, but so is TN. So junglers, and they know he's there. The tremor sense was used. They know exactly where he is.
If he still goes for it. Oh, this could be bad.
This is very bad. They flash forward, light binding the kick. The core drinker, not enough to keep him alive. They will get Zora very, very low. Now flashed in, and Jackie Love gets knocked up. They're trying to jump on the show, and they will burn both flashes and the summoners off of top Esports. Great little capitalization there from RA-Adam. They don't get everything they wanted, but at least they get something.
And it's just time and time again, Lian has the extra information that Tremor sends. Nice rotation down from Zoom, though. I mean, a good opportunity, right? You find the priority top, you lean down towards mid, you pick up that vulnerability, that tower. It wasn't even as much as Strive leaving the lane. It was simply the fact they knew Lian wasn't there was enough for them to secure it. So despite the fact that RA-Adam get a favorable play on the bot side, top Esports are able to answer back.
That is going to be the first turret going down in that mid lane. They're prioritizing Knight. Zoom just being very clever with his roam down, and now Knight with his priority maybe going to try and work up towards this top side to say, hey, I can do the exact same thing. I can put pressure here. This time around though, Lian is in the vicinity. Dragon has spawned, and no one really looking at that one just yet, but let's have a look at the replay, because again, this is just, as you said, information. Having that extra little bit of knowledge, knowing the TN is there, makes it so much easier for the side of RA-Adam to make this one work.
Yeah, and I just love, again, the confidence in Zora with the splash binding. Follows up the knockup, make sure they lock down the Lee Sin, and great play from Lian as well. He knows his bot lane's actually low. If he gives Jackie Love the opportunity, he will just curtain fall and kill them. So forces them back, burns double summoners, and able to get his bot lane out safely. Now top Esports have priority in the Dragon. They're there first. It's a RA-Adam to try and move in, but the package is available. This could be bad for top Esports.
It could be. Top Esports will get the Dragon. They'll back away. The gravity field, like we talked about earlier, that setup, that zone control with this Karma and this Victor, it's very, very difficult then for RA-Adam to walk in on top Esports. But in the same vein, you got double AD carry. You could do a hell of a lot of damage to this turret given the time of day, but right now, it is still top Esports maintaining that control, maintaining that priority, and backing themselves away. But, you know, with first items starting to come through, this game is starting to feel like it's reaching a boiling point. Both with a Dragon each, both with equal on the gold. This is a little bit closer than we were anticipating coming into this first game.
Yeah, I mean, RA-Adam are holding them well, and I really feel like Rek'Sai pick has been such a massive factor. You know, we're looking at the bot lane to be a point of congestion, and it has really allowed Lian just to found those advantages over TN and keep his bot lane in the game. And I think both teams are happy to go late in this situation. Both teams are comfortable to lean into the later stages of the game, so it really comes down to who can find those advantages. And now, again, a cross-map situation. Herald will be thrown down for Strive, and that tower is going to go pretty quickly. You can see the other side, Cube's confident, right? You're playing that Gwen, you have backup from your team, you can clear the wave out. And RA-Adam going to get the second charge on this tier 2 top, so finding a big advantage here.
Yeah, big move here coming out from RA-Adam. They're using that early priority, and when you have that Prowler's Claw, you get 2 towers unanswered right now. Tien flashes in, just get the Dragon's Rage kicked down. Knight not really jumping in with him right now. Now Tien needs to back himself up. That was very risky. The jungler and mid laner of top Esports not on the same page, but now Zoom in a little bit of trouble. He just gets deleted off of the map. RA-Adam are coming out trumps.
And I just love to see the Prowler's Core combo. One of the big things with Rek'Sai is without Flash, you used to be so useless. But the fact is the Prowler's Core gives 0 counterplay for Zoom. Had his Flash and ult, just wasn't ready for it. Gets knocked up, gets taken down. And RA-Adam are continuing to get advantages. Not only did they get 2 towers to 1 on the top side, they also managed to pick up that extra kill. And Knight, he saw, despite the fact down being the kick to try and take out Cube, what can you do against a Gwen, right? You're a ranged champion, you walk up to her, oh, she just presses W, and suddenly you can do nothing at all.
Yeah.
Saying that, though, might get run down.
I was going to say, you know, that's exactly what you just said. You're just saying exactly what happened there. You know, you walk in, you drop your gravity field, she just jumps away. There's nothing else to it. There's nothing else you can really say about that. And now, as the game's starting to move on, it's 1,500 gold lead now in favor of RA. They were about 1,000 gold behind after that disastrous early game start. And with Dragon spawning in 2.5 minutes, it's not going to be a priority for the moment. But RA-Game1, if they can continue to get these picks, if they can continue just to weather the storm in those side lanes, they are looking very much in the advantage. And it's about Top Esports. What can they do to force the issue?
Yeah, and I think, honestly, they can feel pretty comfortable in the side lanes, right? Corky, completely fine there. Cube, completely fine there. And honestly, you must be a little bit careful. He doesn't step up too far in a long lane due to the fact that Ghost can just run him down. So they'll lean bot, they'll pick up this tower. You have to be careful, though. iBoys are a little bit overextended. He's Zoom running in.
Zoom is zooming, but has flash and proto belt, doesn't pull the trigger on that one. They just absorb the pressure, get the bot lane tier 1, and then they can move back up. The Knight will be able to answer back. You should say, geez, I say that, and that Gwen is coming back up onto this, so Cube should be able to answer here. And this is exactly what you talked about, the reason why this Rek'Sai just has one job, the Tremor Sense. It's just to go, cool, Strife, you have priority. You can do this. There's only 2 people here. And now we can see Leyen jumping in onto Jackie Love. Does not get the Prowler's Call to get the knock up just yet. Is going to have the flash away. The turret goes down. That's all they really wanted. But TP is being committed. The curtain call comes in. They're not going to be able to land the Vantra Q, but that's a lot of damage. And there's Zoom flashing in. Gets himself the Slicing Maelstrom. They will not get an answer call. And that's going to be 2 quick kills going over. And they're not done just yet. Top Esports get themselves a third, and they're pushing RA all the way back right into their own jungle, right underneath their own towers. The flash kick, excuse me, the ward hop kick. You still have the W. They still want this kill. He's got the Immortal Shield Bow. Can he trade it back? He will eventually, but a 4-for-1 is definitely in favor of Top Esports.
Oh, and RA-Game were doing so good. You know, they were covering the laners, they were moving pressure on well, they were playing to the bot side, giving up that top tower, and then they just overstay, overcommit, and give that window for the turnaround. And it's something you have to be so concerned about. Yes, before 14 minutes, you can't have a Kennen TPing behind you, but post 14 minutes, that is absolutely what Zoom is looking to do. And he found this beautiful window. It's just a heavy overcommit, because realistically, what are you trying to achieve here? Okay, you're getting the tower anyway. You don't need to kill Jackie Love here. Take the advantage. Instead, they overcommit. Leon has no mobility left. The rest of the team are there to try and protect him, and Zoom able to fly in, get 2 kills instantly, and now you have these 80 carries who are left isolated and alone, and Top Esports feeling more than comfortable to chase them down. It's just an overcommit, and RA-Game make a critical mistake that allows Top Esports to feel a lot more comfortable in this game.
And we're back to pretty much even Stevens. It's 4 towers to 3, a dragon apiece. It will, however, go into the ascendancy of RA-Game as they do pick up that one. It is only a Cloud Soul, so don't think Top Esports are going to be very unhappy with that particular trade. They got everything else they wanted off the map, and right now it does feel like Top Esports are the ones, as we said, who are finding themselves with the advantages. They're the ones who are looking to try and make something happen. They know there are summoners down, and that's why they're pushing the issue here.
Yeah, they are really, really trying to threaten this bot lane, and Zora, you know, it's a nifty dodge there, but playing on the edge right now. If Zora gets picked off, iBoy gets picked off, really got to make things difficult. And I think a big thing as well is when you're playing the Caitlyn, you want to have control of an area, and you want to be able to be placing your traps down. So being ahead, super favorable. But in this position where Top Esports are constantly forcing in and threatening any area you move into, it does make things very precarious.
Yeah, and I want to say I really love this itemization coming out from Zoom as well. He's saying, look, my job is to burst the backline. Immortal Shield Bow, the E coming out from Lux, or sorry, the W. These are things that can stop me from blowing them up. So what do I need? I need shield reduction. I need ways of stopping them from getting themselves safe in these matchups. And exactly what Shadow Flame does. It's exactly what you need to do for your team. You're not trying to blow people up yourself. You're just trying to facilitate the rest of your team.
I mean, I'll say that the flat pen available to Zoom,
yeah, it's pretty big.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Zora and iBoy, I mean, probably everyone apart from Cube and maybe Leanne is just gonna have 0 MR when it comes to like going up against this cannon, and it's pretty disturbing. I'll tell you that much. Knight's got a pretty. You saw him with the Lich Bane, obviously helped him take towers, but also if he does get in range of anyone, his burst is pretty crazy with that Q auto coming in. But I do like Leanne has that Prowler's Claw for the gap closer, has the Edge of Night to block an ability, especially like the kick for the Lee Sin. You know, it could be various things to stop you getting in range and to make things easier. And that's essentially going to be Leanne's job at this point. You see a target, you close onto them, you try and burst them out. If you die, whatever, hope your team can carry. That is the role of a Rek'Sai when it gets later in the game. Did pretty well early, so still definitely got enough damage to kill a squishy right now. But as the game goes on, it's going to get worse and worse, especially when Zhonya's Hourglass starts coming in. That item just makes it impossible for you to really kill anyone as a Rek'Sai.
Yeah, we'll have a quick look at Shadow Flame, one of the newer items to come into the game as well. It is a pretty hefty, amount of health as well. You get 200 health, 100 ability power, and basically what it does is, to anyone who is unaware, is that when an enemy champion has been affected by a shield, I'm going to stop myself very quickly, as Knight does get 90 caliber netted, but when the enemy champion has been affected by a shield, you ignore 10 to 20 based on, current health or maximum health, I believe it is. Of an enemy champion's magic resistance. So it is a really big item of just stopping people from surviving your burst. And speaking of surviving your burst, it looks like Zora forced a flash over the wall. Chaos Storm did come out. That turret is still available here, and Tien is tanking it up. Don't think he really wants to be doing that just yet. And 2 minutes till Dragon means that top esports, they're still just hunting and they're still just burning summoners.
Yeah, and it puts Zora in a difficult position, right? You're now flashless. You're the one who has the wards. You're the one with the sidestone. You have to be walking forward. It is a little bit alleviated by the fact that Lian has that tremor sense, but constantly we're seeing RA-Game spreading the resources, right? They're striving the side lane, allowing him to farm up, allowing him to get gold. But the return is top esports are constantly threatening, constantly looking for these engages and diving deep. And as much as RA have been able to navigate it okay so far, it feels very much on a knife's edge. We do have about 1:30 until that dragon, and something Strive's done, which is, what you should be doing on a Corki, is you time your package with the dragon, so every single dragon, it's available on the same cooldown. So you can just frequently pick that up, and we should see the soon, but Zora might be in trouble.
Sure. He might be in a little bit of trouble. They're investing a lot here to try and kill this Lux. They will get it, but that was a flash from the Karma. It was a Gale Force TP from Zoom. They're going to look to try and maybe turn this into a Baron. I don't know if that was the correct call. You're still a bit early for this, and with a rapid fire cannon just being picked up from Corki and a TP available for them, it's going to be very risky.
Yeah, this is a little bit dangerous here. And like TP is going to have to eventually come in, but there's a lack of vision, and that's the critical thing. Without Zora there, you don't actually have a ward available. They have the control ward, but it's not the best spot to TP to.
Go for fishing. They are fishing. There's a tier 2 in bot side going down, though. Gwen holding a cube, saying, I'm calling your bluff. I know you want the fight. I'm going to keep pushing into this. Now we'll TP into the mid lane as they look to try and go for this one. They've got the Baron down to about 2,000 HP. Top esports, they back off of the objective. So yes, they bait out the 2 teleports, but they don't gain any objective from it. Now the curtain call comes in. Has to be immediately cancelled as Dracula realizes he's just in a bad situation. And they're being pintered. Look at these hellfires. They're going down so low. Zoom has to get himself away. You can see Knight has already been taken down. Does get the Chaos Storm over, so Leon will have to flash away to keep his own life. Joe, with no flash, will also follow in that line, and this is just disaster for top esports. And now after baiting the Baron, they might lose the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, they were the ones who got chunked out from the Baron. They still try and go for this play, and RA-Game play it extremely slowly. They wait for the longest time before teleporting in, but at the same time, they didn't have vision of Leon over the wall. They can't coin flip and 50-50 the Baron. And I think RA-Game knew that. They didn't feel pressured. They didn't feel like there was an urgency. They slow played it, allowed top esports to get chunked, managed to clean them up after the fact, flanking round them, and now being able to secure that Baron. And top esports, yeah, they'll get a dragon, and what? It's 2 apiece. No one really cares at this point. Just excellent play from RA-Game there. And we'll see the replay. So just the slowness allowed them to get chunked out. You see some rockets coming in, really hitting them. Jackie Love, very questionable ult there, right? Zora coming back in for the respawn, gets the ult instantly, stop it from cancelling. And you see in this situation, everyone is chunked out and low. There's no way they can really do anything to close things out, and it's just cleanup from the side of RA-Game.
That's just, again, we mentioned that as soon as they turned for the Baron, such a risk, because you had invested so much to try and kill off that Lux, and these death timers just aren't that long right now. 25, maybe 30 seconds, it's not really that big of a deal. And now against the Baron buff, you're going to have a lot to issue, kind of deal with this Corki, because this is your late game insurance. We talked about it a little bit, but to say that, there's going to be the Immortal Shield Bow popped as Strife for some reason just got caught. As I praise him he decides to get himself caught out. Now Zoom, he's going to try and get in on the backside of this. He does pop himself out with the ultimate and gets the kill off of the Zora, but not really a priority target. You can see now, iBoy just moving forward, pushing in to try and make sure to get the trade back. They will get it on top of Gwen, and that's Q picking up a kill. Now, this Gwen is here to stay and here to make some serious damage. This turret is but a hair's breadth away from falling. It does go down. That's all your tier 2s now, all your outer tower pretty much gone now for the side of Top Esports, and I think they're just investing too much on the support. They need to pick a better carry to prioritize.
Yeah, I mean, if you're banning, the Cannonal is that big tool, right? It's the backline threat, and you're banning it to kill Lux support. And I think at this point, Surfer just doesn't really care at all. It's really the rest of the team managing to survive in these situations and able to turn things around. The King will come out. Strive should be able to get away from this one, though. Saying that,
iBoy.
in trouble.
Yeah, he has to flash. No way he could really survive that. Didn't have the Gale Force up either, so just unfortunately losing a little bit. And look, this is something that we know is going to happen from RA-Game1. We know that Top Esports are a fantastic team. They will force these out if you do get a little bit too comfortable. So it's about RA-Game1 just keep, stemming the bleeding, keeping themselves in a good position so that they don't lose as much when they have to lose those summoners.
And I think the thing is, we still see mistakes from RA-Game1, right? It's not like they've had a flawless game, but their game plan has been solid and their execution has been good, and they've been really paying off in these situations. And I mean, this is that replay, right? Okay, you ult Zora, right? Cool, Zora's dead. But I mean, look at the burst damage that comes down on Tian there with the Prowler's Claw and the follow-up from the Corki. Just deleted. And then Zoom isn't in a position to get away here. Goes down after burning Flash as well. That's the critical thing. Flash burned, and you still end up going down, and you only got the Lux. So very low value. It's just Top Esports feel a bit desperate, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, and looking at Zoom as well, like he's just so desperate to get some money right now. I don't know if he's going to go back and pick up his Zhonya's, because not having that Zhonya's is just such a massive issue, and still doesn't have it, only has the Phoenix Codex, so just not able to really survive. Once he goes in, he's in. He has to stay away and, try and kill somebody, because he's just not going to be able to survive. And you're looking at this Corki, this Caitlyn, 3 items on both of these AD carries, 3 items onto the Gwen. There's just so much burst damage available to RA-Game1 that this very squishy lineup is going to struggle hard against them.
Yeah, sorry, I got baited by the replay HUD, and I thought the flash was down. Yeah, no, Zoom flash. Okay, good. That's a good thing, because I really need that, right? When you're playing these late game team fights, cannon flash is probably like the most important thing. So, you're okay, Zoom. You're doing fine. I made the mistake. You're good. And I think that's the thing, is that's what we're looking for, right? When it comes to these team fights, the Corki and the Caitlyn are problematic, right? Look at the Corki's items, 4 in the bag. So much damage coming out. The rockets are really starting to hit at this point. Not as much as the pure pen build, but still a massive threat. And you kind of need Zoom to be on those flanks. You need that TP threat, and on top of that, the flash. So that's kind of the win con here for Top Esports, but they are significantly behind in gold. And the thing is, even if you kill the backline, there's still threats like Cube on this Gwen, who's been silently farming away. 3.5 items looking like a massive problem. Top Esports going to push up mid. They want to try and find mid priority and pull RA-Game1 away from the Dragon Pit where they have control. RA-Game1 are just trying to get some poke down. The Corki has a fair bit of threat in this situation.
Yeah, they're trying to cut off the wave as well. Ooh, that's a lot of damage coming in. And while this is happening, this is a 4v5. You got to remember that. They're not under pressure. They're not the ones getting themselves punched into a corner. They're the ones with the Gwen on the side lane that's just chipping away at this tower. Important to note, Zoom finally has Zhonya's, the light binding. Oh, so ever so close. Leanne does take a chunk right to the face from Jackie Love, and now the wave can be pushed back again. They are going to use the ultimate to try and see if they can just piece down these. Yeah, they're not looking, so they're going to go for the dragon. They're going to lose tier 2. They may lose an inhibitor. This is going to be a pretty easy setup here for Top Esports. They've even got that objective bounties coming in, and oh my lord, this Corki's just doing a lot of damage right now, and it's just got a very scary time here for Top Esports, because they have to be grouped together, but they can't be grouped together. It's a catch-22.
Yeah, they get the objective shut down. From that tower, they lose the dragon, though. Again, it's not too much concern. Soul's not yet, and it's Cloud Soul. It's not like team with Chems like a Hex deck or Infernal. But that's just the problem, right? Strive picks up the package, throws one ult down with the big one, and that's it. That's your team has to back away. This Corki is such a problem. And the thing is, it's the range, which is such an issue of this composition. This Corki outranges the Victor so massively. That's like the only person who could really contend in terms of range is Jackie Love. And even then, he doesn't match up to a Corki with rapid fire and those long-range rockets. And if he does try and step up, the fact that iBoy is also a champion with such huge range, they're going to package the Baron. It melts so fast, and
yeah,
they're approaching slow.
I mean, you can't approach this one. The choke is there, and Baron secured by RA. Now maybe they can look to try and take out Knight, who just about gets himself out. But Zoom TPing in. They know exactly where he is. He's going to try and pop his ultimate immediately. No, he backs himself out. He's trying to just survive for the moment. Does get a hit by the ultimate of Caitlyn. And after everything's said and done, no one goes down. TP was burned there by Zoom and his flash as well. So big tools missed out here from the side of RA-Game1 and from Top Esports. And RA-Game1, they just need to get back. They just need to defend. They should be able to stop this turret from going down.
Absolute disaster. I mean, those are the big tools we're talking about, right? The TP flank with the flash, and Zoom looked, didn't find it. I'm not sure what's going on. It kind of felt like he expected RA-Game1 not to give up as much ground. Maybe thought they'd be pushing forwards and he could flank behind them. But I think he very quickly realized he was TPing into a bad situation, especially if you're against the Caitlyn and she can trap the TP, you're just going to die instantly, right? Or at least burns on you immediately. So he had to flash out of the trap to get away. But just ended up being so messy there, and now they don't have the flash available for Zoom, don't have the TP. This gives so much confidence for RA-Game1 to push forward, but there's a TN on the flank. Let's see what he can do.
They know exactly where he is. They know exactly what he's trying to do, so they're just going to try and keep themselves alive. That's a good tunnel from Leanne to buffer the stun of the Deadly Flourish. And they're just turning back on top of this, but iBoy's a little bit separated. He flashes in. TN does not get the exact kick he wants. Great damage there from the ultimate from Lux, and this is going to be the game. There's nothing that TES can do about it. They're just going to be pushed away. Going in with the Gale Force and the flash. iBoy picks up 2, and that's going to be RA-Game1 breaking open the base, and with Baron still going and 3 people left to defend, RA-Game1 are going to be able to take this scalp.
Just really well executed from RA-Game1. They find the flank, they defend from Tien, and they're able to answer. Looks like 3 left, looking to defend from Top Esports, but it just won't be enough.
It's just not enough there. It's just too much damage. Double kill, triple kill. It's a full house with trips on dubs, and that's going to be RA-Game1 taking the